Our next round is ready. Everyone, join me in welcoming mchan338, bringing us Super Luigi U, all castles. Let's go.
All right, hello everybody. My name is mchan338, and welcome back to No Glitches Allowed. It's really exciting to be back here once again for another event. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so time does not start until after the intro, which is about 2 minutes from now. I'm going to go ahead and get started right away, and then, which will give me time to explain the run, and then I'll do the countdown after the intro is over. So here we go. All right, so this is New Super Luigi U for the Nintendo Wii U. It originally came out as DLC for New Super Mario Bros. U for back in July of 2013, and then 1 month later, a physical release came out of the game as a standalone. So New Super Luigi U plays identical to New Super Mario Bros. U in terms of story, how many levels you do, except this time you play as Luigi as the main character instead of Mario. Mario doesn't exist in this game. His hat's there, as you can see in the intro. But we play as Luigi. Luigi plays very differently than Mario. He jumps higher, he slips more. And so his controls are overall harder than Mario. So if this is your first time playing this game, then it is a very hard casual game. Additionally, the main gimmick of this game is that there's a 100-second time limit for every single level. All the levels are different from Mario U, but they're similarly themed. So it is a pretty crazy game, but a really fun speedrun. So yeah, the category is all castles, which is New Super Luigi U's main all worlds category. Any percent, which is our main category, skips world 2, 3, 4, and 6. All castles will do every world. So you get to see more of the game, more strats, more tricks. So it should be a really fun run. This is one of my favorite categories. I've been working on this category for 10 years, by the way. It's hard to believe that I've been at this for a very long time. And the intro is over. So here we go. Let's go ahead and do the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty, so we are starting off in the first level, 1-1, Acorn Plains 1, and the main power-up of this game is going to be the Super Acorn. So I'm going to go ahead and slide into this Waddle Wing, get my Super Acorn, and now I am Acorn Luigi. So as Acorn Luigi, I am a squirrel, and I am gliding across many different obstacles, and that was the first level right off the bat. That is how fast this game goes. So stay tuned, you are in for a wild ride. Get used to the panic sound that is of every level with a 100-second time limit. It sounds really stressful, but the secret thing that is that the in-game time is actually slower in this game in comparison to how the in-game timer works in Mario games in the past. So they kind of secretly give you a little bit more extra time than it applies. So in 1-2, I'm going to go to the back over here and to get a star. Stars make you invincible, as well as make you move faster and tank through enemies. Additionally, with the star, as you can see, I hit that block. If I went to that block fast enough, then I'm able to hit that block and get another star, so I can extend the star power long enough to go through this whole level. As you probably saw, that last part with all those Koopa Troopas and Piranha Plants, they're really hard to go through without a star, and so keeping the star there in that part simplifies the process. Yeah, that was the first 2 levels done really quickly, and now we're moving on to the tower level. And as we move on to the tower level, we're going to be introduced to a new character known as Nabbit. So the way you play as Nabbit in single player is I'm going to hold ZL as I select this level, and I'll be temporarily switched to Nabbit. So Nabbit does not die. He is your easy mode character. So as you'll see towards the end of this level, there will be a bunch of dry bones. So I'm going to run right through as Nabbit. And so that is how Nabbit works in this game. He can't die, so the one common question is it faster to play as Nabbit throughout the entire game? And the answer is no. And the reason the answer is no is because Nabbit does not use the benefits of any power-ups. Normally, if you click a power-up as Nabbit, then he converts the power-ups into one-ups, which is good for casual play, because you can get a lot of lives that way. But for some levels that it require either large distances or a ton of vertical height, then we use Luigi. For levels that have a lot of enemies where it is really hard for Luigi to dodge, then we switch to Nabbit. One of those like strategic optimizations that this game comes down to. So going into 1-3, what you just saw there after I completed the tower was I went through a bunch of text boxes as well as the game asked me to save. So I can actually talk about the controller that I'm using. So I am using the Wii U gamepad, since this game is on a Wii U. Just like in a lot of Wii U speedruns, the gamepad is generally preferred because you can save time on text boxes as well as save menus. As you saw when the game asked me to save, I was actually tapping the no option on the gamepad instead of manually selecting no, which does save a few frames, and that does add up over time over the course of the run. So here's our first branching path here. We have an option between two levels. I'm going to do 1-4. Since this is all casuals and we don't have to do every single level, you want to choose the faster of the two levels. So I'm going to go to the right and do 1-4, because 1-4 saves 4 seconds over 1-5. Additionally, if I did 1-5, then I would have had to avoid a Piranha Plant on the overworld, which takes a little bit extra time. So there we go, 1-4, and now we're going to be moving on to our first castle, hence all castles. Pretty straightforward level. I'm going to be playing as Luigi and glide over a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of swinging platforms in this level. You can do this level as Nabbit, and it's about the same time, but the platforming is easier with Luigi because you can glide over a bunch of things here. So the main movement optimization that I'm doing with Acorn Luigi is my first movement option, the moment I gain control of Luigi, is I am doing a short hop followed by a fly, and that gets me up to full speed quicker, and that saves about a few frames, but there are so many instances of this where that is happening that it does add up over the course of the run. And then also in these boss doors, I'm trying to enter each door in the center as much as possible, so that way it saves the walking animation of Luigi going to the center of the door and then going inside the door. So the boss of every castle is going to be a Koopaling. In this case, we're going to be fighting Lemmy Koopa. And when you fight, and bosses are usually the same if you fight them the same exact way, so I know exactly when Lemmy Koopa is going to come out of his shell, and then as soon as he comes out of his shell, I'm going to hit him right away, just like that. World 1 completed. 7 more worlds left to go. And with that, do we have any donations or announcements as we go through a few cutscenes?
Yeah, indeed. We have some donations that have come in. We have $25 to go rescue from KLMO that says trans rights. And we also have $10 from Final Flame that just says less than 3. Thank you both for those donations, getting us closer to that milestone to unlock our first bonus game. If you're a Mario lover, you're enjoying this game, you're going to want to help us get to that milestone so that we can have more Mario, and even cooler, some hitless Mario.
A normal Mario second in most Mario games is usually 3/4 of a real second, but in New Super Luigi U, it's actually a real second. So you do have 100 real seconds to do every level. Like I said, it's one of those things where the game, this game does secretly give you a little bit extra time, so it's a little bit lenient. The first time casual playthrough of this game, the 100 second does seem a little daunting, but it can be really fun once you get used to it. All right, so after 2-1, there was going to be a cutscene where Toad's going to let us know that some guy named Nabbit has stole his double favorite stuff, and that we have to go and rescue him, or take back his stuff. But we're not going to be doing that all. It takes way too long for me to do that. I have to backtrack all the way to 1-1 and do that. And in 100%, it is worth it because it's required as part of that category. But it takes so long that it's not worth it. You do get a PA Acorn, which is a power-up where you can fly infinite times. It's basically the Super Acorn, but you can fly infinite times. And there are some really cool strats in some levels, but because it takes so long to catch Nabbit, it's not worth it. So I will not be catching Nabbit. All right, so another branching path here. We can do 2-2 or 2-3. We're gonna go ahead and do 2-3. And there's a if you do a precise enough jump, I can just barely hit that block. But that's okay. So this level is normally a dark level, but with Nabbit, you can just run through all these Prime Plants and Fire Bros coming up, and also with the star, as you can see, it lights up the whole level. There we go. So coming up over here takes me to the end of the level quicker, if I can get that jump correctly. And now come up in 2-Tower. It's one of my favorite levels because you can kind of create your own cycles in this level. The gimmick in here is that there are these spinning gears that you use to unwind blocks that open and close. So you can kind of create your own cycles. And so as a result, one of the optimizations is cutting these cycles as tight as possible. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of leniency. Because you can imagine that when you cut these cycles really tightly, then you have a very high risk of getting crushed and then dying. So as you see right there, I would have opened the gap there at the very end a little bit smaller than I did if I was going for a record attempt. But I'm going to be playing it a little bit safe here for the sake of the marathon. And now we're going to be making our way to the top, and we're going to be fighting Boom Boom. So Boom Boom is the boss of every tower. You just simply jump on him 3 times, and in every tower, Chemical will power up Boom Boom to make him do something different each time. But I know Boom Boom's attack pattern. Basically, as long as you get the first hit in, then you can get the subsequent hits afterwards. And that's pretty much the boss fight. And now coming up is the biggest reset point if you're grinding for really good times in this run, and that is the bridge. So as you can see in this bridge, we have a Goomba, a Firebird, and an Acorn, and I have to get past this bridge without running into any one of those, and they all move at random. Anytime I'm moving on in World 2, then they will move at a random direction. So I have to kind of just hope and pray that I get past the bridge without running into either enemies. Otherwise, I initiate a fight and it loses like 25 seconds, and I don't want that. So let's see what happens here. Okay, getting the Acorn is fine. Oh boy. This might be rough. Okay, we are good. Alright. As long as I didn't run into any of the enemies, then that is good enough. So that is what we like to see. It was a little bit slow, but it is better than running into the enemies. So most of my attempts usually reset at that point because there are some days where those enemies can just constantly get in your way. And that didn't happen today, so that is what we like to see. Very good stuff. Alright, so as you can see right there, pretty straightforward level as 2-4, but we're actually going to do this level again because there is a secret exit. And you might think that that doesn't really make much sense. Why am I getting the secret exit? There is a reason for it, which I'll explain in like 20 minutes from now. So for now, I'm going to do this level again. Oops. For now, I'm going to do this level again. Get past all these stone eyes. And secret exits in this game are really hard to find. As you can see right there, you have to ground pound that part of the ground, and it's actually the sky that's blocked. I don't know how anybody playing this game casually would figure that out. But that is where the secret exit is. They're very obscure in this game in comparison to secret exits in a typical Mario game. But if you know where it is, then it's pretty easy. So like I said, I got the secret exit, which will become relevant in about 20 minutes. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and continue through the route, and I'm going to do moving on to 2-5. So 2-5 has, or no, not 2-5, 2-6 has rolling hills. We've seen rolling hills back in World 1, so they're back in this level. So one thing that's worth noting about rolling hills in this game is that, as you can see, whenever I'm spin jumping from these rolling hills, then I'm actually going really fast. This is not intentional. And that is that when you're spin jumping off of anything moving, then you actually just keep your speed from these rolling hills. So as you can see, I'm flying really fast, and then I landed on that Lakitu in order to stay in the air longer and keep my speed a little bit longer. So that is one of those like really cool levels if you know how to utilize those rolling hills enough. And now coming up is 2-Castle. Normally a pretty tough level to do if you're doing 100%, but it's pretty straightforward here. Also, typical Mario movement. If you played Mario games in the past, you want to slide down slopes and jump over up slopes. That is how you optimize movement. This game is no stranger to that kind of optimization. So there we go. Normally a cycle-based level with these platforms going up and down the lava. But obviously, of course, with Luigi, when you're Acorn Luigi, then you can glide over many of that. That is the significance of the Super Acorn of this game. And so now we're going to be fighting Morton Koopa Jr., the second boss. So the way this fight works is Morton's going to summon this giant Pokey. And normally... Okay, good. Normally, he will hammer the Pokey's body parts at you, and you have to dodge him until the Pokey's at a short enough height where you can jump over the Pokey, so that way you can hit Morton. But if you fly over the Pokey, then you can hit Morton right away. Now, it is technically faster to do a damage boost and boost right through the Pokey, but you lose your Acorn in the process, and you want to keep your Acorn for the next world. So it is overall not faster to do the damage boost. I did grab an Acorn during the bridge when I was going through that bridge, so I would have equipped the Acorn, but even then it's still not faster to having to equip my Acorn versus keeping it. So yeah. All right, so World 2 now completed, and now we have a choice between Worlds 2, 3, or 4. You could do either one of them, and they will both lead to World 5. So in the true worthless route of this game, you would do 7 worlds, because you would have to do one of these worlds, and then because either one of them will take you to World 5. But since it's all castles, we have to do all 8 worlds, so we have to backtrack and then do the other world later. So I'm going to go to the top and do World 4 instead before World 3. And that's because doing World 4 first saves 12 seconds later on in World 3. So we're going to go up to the top here and do World 4, Frosted Glacier. That was a bit of a technical level. Yeah, I had to do some very specific movement in order to avoid the bruisers and then punching the barrels at me. So that was a pretty tough level. And now we're going to head into the next level, and this next level I'm going to play as Nabbit, and it's not because this level is hard to do with Luigi. In fact, this level is actually easier to do with Luigi, but the reason I am doing this level as Nabbit is because the fastest end time is a 77 on the in-game timer. So the way you get fireworks in this game is you have to end the level with the last 2 digits matching, so in this case 77. Now, Nabbit cannot get fireworks at all. Otherwise, if I was doing this level as Luigi, then I would have to wait a second towards the end of the level, and then, in order to get a 76. instead of a 77, so I can avoid fireworks. Nabbit does not have to deal with that, so I have to play as I play as Nabbit, so that way I can avoid slowing down. So it's another reason to play as Nabbit in some of these levels. 4-Dash Tower here has these moving platforms that we ride while also dodging these icicles. So because Luigi's movement is very difficult, especially in casual play, you will be hearing me say things like, oh, this is harder than it appears to be, and that's just simply because Luigi's movement is really difficult. It takes quite a bit to get used to his movement in comparison to like a regular Mario game, where usually Mario's controls are really fluid. Luigi's controls in this game, it takes quite a bit to get used to. Alright, so another boom boom fight here. And just like that. Alright, so the next couple of levels aren't particularly exciting, so you can feel free to read any more donations or have any more announcements.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So, if you missed it, I want to tell you a little bit more about the milestone we're working towards. So at $700 total raised for Go Rescue, we will unlock Super Mario World Done Hitless. Now, this is already a very challenging run, but I don't know if you've ever seen a hitless run. It means the run is going to take absolutely no hits, and I know that normally comes from like Souls-likes and other things like that. It's going to be challenging. There's a reason why this is being offered as a bonus game, but in order to see that run, we need to raise more money. So, !donate in the chat, and your donations automatically go towards helping it. You don't need to select anything. Now, with that said, if you need something to maybe encourage you to donate, we do also have a bid war open, and this is to determine the hat for Kirby Air Riders. We have the options of cowboy hat, heart springs, onigiri, ribbon, and a top hat. That's going to close at the start of Kirby Air Riders, so get your donations in and select a bid war while also helping us unlock that bonus game.
So right here, I collected this acorn. It is technically slower to not pick up that acorn, but I have to pass by this ring multiple times, which means that I would have to avoid that acorn every single time. So it ends up not being faster to overall to avoid the acorn, so I just pick it up. Plus it helps so that if something were to go wrong in this run and I lose my acorn for whatever reason, then I have that in reserve. So here's another level where, again, as you can see, the fastest end time is a 77. So I play as Nabbit, so that way I don't have to avoid waiting an extra second to get a 76 as Luigi. Alright, so we're moving on to our first ghost house, and ghost houses are really simple in this game. You might know that ghost houses in other Mario games beforehand are usually like these levels where like the intention is to get lost. But I guess it's kind of hard to make this level complex when you also have a 100-second time limit to think about. So this level is very straightforward. You're not going to get lost in this level. Just gotta avoid all these boomerangs normally, or at least if you're not playing as Nabbit. Then there are these boomerangs that you have to worry about. Also, something you're seeing me do with these flagpoles is I'm grabbing wherever I want. It really does not matter where I grab them. Even the top of the flagpole is still the same amount of time as every other point of the flagpole. But I'm also facing backwards in order to save the turning animation on the flagpoles. So it saves a few frames over the course of like, I think 50 levels in this category. So it does add up. Alright, so this level is a really fun level. It's kind of a speedrunner type of level. The intention of this level is to go fast. I know that's what it sounds a little redundant because that's what I'm already doing. But even casually, you still have to go fast here because there's so many thwomps. And there's a lot of these parts where the thwomps are crushing these blocks away. Okay, nice. That's a really precise jump in order to squeeze in between those blocks, thwomps, and that wall there. Otherwise, normally you're supposed to do 2 wall jumps in order to get past that part. But if you do that really tight crouch jump, then you can save those 2 wall jumps, saving about a second. And now we're gonna be fighting Wendy Koopa. Now, Nabbit can still... So while Nabbit cannot die, Nabbit can still get hit by bosses. So in this case right here, ow, I can get hit by Wendy, and I won't get punished most of the time. Oh, okay, that one was a punish right there. That one was not. That one was unintentional. Sometimes Wendy does have some pretty weird timing as to when to hit her. So I kind of got a little trolled there. That's a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Still very inconsequential, nonetheless. There we go. World 4 completed. And normally, we can go straight to World 5, but this is all castles, which means I have to backtrack out of World 4 and into World 3. Alright, so on my way out of World 4, I do have to avoid these Cooligans. You probably saw a couple of times I was actually delaying on the map in order to get from one level to another. And that's because if I just go straight head on, then I would have run into a Cooligan, which would have initiated a fight, and that's really bad. Alright, so the reason doing World 4 first over World 3 saves time in World 3 is because on my way back, I can collect this Baby Yoshi. So that way I can use this Baby Yoshi for World 3. So World 3, Sparkling Waters, is a water world. It's a water-themed world, so you're going to be expecting some swimming levels. So the first level is pretty straightforward, but the second level is where we're going to be seeing our first swimming level, and that's where Baby Yoshi is going to come into play. Alright, so hopefully... Alright, so I'm going to go back over here, grab the star. This star barely saves any time, but the movement, it does look really cool with it. So I'm going to go and pick it up. Nice. That part there that I jumped over on the top doesn't really look like you can jump over, but it is really low, despite it being a little bit off screen. So I did this level as Nabbit. You can do this level as Luigi, but if you do it as Luigi, then you have to carry Baby Yoshi through the whole level, and the flagpole animation is longer with Luigi, if you have Baby Yoshi with you. So you always want to be playing as Nabbit for that level. And now here we go. So this is where Baby Yoshi comes into play in this swimming level. That was a little close. So as you can see, with these spins, I can go much faster in the water versus if I were to do this level normally without Baby Yoshi. And so that alone saves optimally 20 seconds. This is a 50-second level, usually, without Baby Yoshi. So that is still like because it takes like 8 seconds to get Baby Yoshi on the way out of World 4 and into World 3, that's like a net 12-second save. So it's very, very much worth it. And then I get rid of Baby Yoshi at the end of that level, so that because I don't need Baby Yoshi anymore. There is another water level coming up as well, but Baby Yoshi doesn't save very much time. Alright, so 3-Dash Tower, as you can see, this is kind of like the biggest time save with Nabbit, because normally this is a cycle-based level with all these skewers, but Nabbit can just go right through these skewers. And just like that. Okay, any more donations or announcements, Sel?
Indeed, we have $15 from an anonymous donor who says, "Yee, and I cannot stress this enough." Ha! Thank you so much for that donation, getting us to $435 raised. Now, chat, I do want to make a quick announcement as well. There has been a slight swap to our schedule. Following the current run, we're going to go to Kirby Air Riders. Give us a little bit more time to reach that $700 needed for that first bonus game. So you have a little bit more time now, but also don't delay. Get your donations in as soon as you can so that we can have more no glitches allowed.
Yeah, this is a speedrun marathon, ladies and gentlemen. So, which means we don't have a lot of time to get your to meet these incentives. And this is a great cause that we're raising money for. So definitely help out if you can. Feel free to keep going.
Yeah. Speaking of the cause that we are raising money for, we are, of course, here raising funds for Go Rescue, and the Go Rescue website has its own section for adoption success stories. Well, we get, while we're watching this run, I encourage you to stay watching this run, of course, but in between, while we are getting set up for the run that's going to be after this, would encourage you to go check out gorescuedogs.com/success stories for some adorable pictures and heartwarming tales. They do incredible work, and we've already raised almost $500 for them. That's pretty impressive, but I know we can do more. So ! Donate in the chat. Get your donations in. Also make your opinion known on that Kirby Air Riders hat bid war. I believe Cowboy Hat is in the lead. I kind of want to see some love for Onigiri. Onigiri lovers. Get your donations in.
I love a good onigiri. Okay, so now we have an option between 3-3 or 3-4 after that ghost ship level. I'm going to do 3-3. Saves 4 seconds over 3-4. However, the most optimum route actually does 3-4 in order to get a penguin suit and use for the rest of World 3. Those are some really crazy. The penguin route has involved some really crazy strats that are extremely punishing. Your efforts get wasted if you end up losing the penguin suit, which is really easy to do with the strats involved. So they're not. It's not really something that's safe to do in a marathon. So I'm going for the more simpler route, and that is to do 3-3. And now going into 3-5, this is another swimming level. But as you can see, this is a vertical swimming level as opposed to the other level that we did, where it was a horizontal swimming level. So Baby Yoshi doesn't save much time here. The way you save time in this level is by just simply mashing really fast, which can be really hard to do sometimes. Yeah, Baby Yoshi doesn't save much time in this level. The reason it doesn't save much time in this level is because whenever you have Baby Yoshi on the map, you have to wait for Baby Yoshi to catch up to you on the map and then start the level. So you lose time every single time for every level that you have Baby Yoshi. Alright, so going into the castle now. You can do this level either as Luigi or Nabbit, doesn't really matter. I'm going to do this level as Luigi because I like the platforming better in the first and third room. Some people will use Nabbit for this level, specifically for the second room here in this water section, because you can get hit by these homing torpedo tents. And there we go. And now we got one more section left here. And then up to the boss, which is Larry Koopa. So Larry Koopa can be a random fight if something were to go wrong in this fight. There are these geysers that come out from the ground. And that does influence how Larry is going to behave if something were to go wrong in this fight. But hopefully that doesn't happen, so we'll see what happens here. So we're going to go ahead and get the first hit in, just like that. I'm going to go ahead and stand right around over here. If you stand right around here, you don't even need to do a jump, you'll just jump right into you, just like that. That's something fun that you can do. Oh, that's not good. Okay, messed up there at the very end. Again, I kind of, I was probably either too early or the timing was just really weird there. But that's fine. This is why we have backup acorns as reserve in case something like this were to happen. And I am going to need my acorn in order to save time in the next level immediately after. Okay, so remember about 20 minutes ago when I got the secret exit in 2-4. So this is where this comes into play. So normally, my next roll is roll 5. So if I were to keep going right now, I would have run into an airship level. which is, 5-airship. And if you know anything about airships, airships are really boring. So there's a really long intro going into the airship, and then the airship is a really long auto-scroller, and then followed by a not-so-interesting boss fight, followed by a long cutscene at the very end. So all that is really slow. So by going on my way to get the secret exit in 2-4, and then backtracking all the way from World 3 to this level, just to do this level, which is a much faster level than 5-airship, it still saves about a minute. So just like that. And then this level, and then the path will open up, and this will create a path past the airship and into World 5. So we're halfway into the run now, and this is where the all-Catholic route starts to get pretty interesting. The route's been pretty straightforward so far, but World 5 gets really interesting because normally World 5 is a really long world. It's split up into 3 sections. The beginning section, the Haunted Forest section, where there's a ghost house and then a choice between 2 of the hardest levels of the game. That is not a joke. An RNG section, and then out into the 3rd section. However, in this run, this is actually the shortest world of the run. We only do 4 levels in World 5, despite how long this is. So going into Soda Jungle, and going into 5-1, 5-1 has swinging vines, and you're going to see that I'm going to be doing something a bit unintentional in 5-1 with these vines. You'll see. It's going to look really cool, too. Ooh, hold up. Okay, that was weird. Okay. A little bit awkward, but I can redeem myself here. All right, watch this. Okay, there we go. Okay. Alright, that was a little close. I almost died. But fortunately I was able to save myself. So what I did from the swinging vines was I was actually holding neutral on my D-pad in order to swing from vine to vine, and that actually keeps the speed from the vines. So if I were to do it correctly, I would have saved 3 seconds. I had a really awkward amount of speed on earlier on, which is what happened there. I probably didn't let go at the right time, so it kind of messed with my speed a little bit. But fortunately, not dead. Alright, so going to the left, 5-2, normally in any percent, you actually do 5-3 because it's a little bit faster, but we do 5-2 because there's a secret exit here, and the secret exit is going to be the key that will allow us to skip a lot of World 5. There's ground pound that block there, like in the beginning, which will reveal a switch, and that way it'll create a path for me to go into that pipe cannon and take me to the secret exit. So this like bridge blocks will give us a path around the Haunted Forest section. I skipped the Haunted Forest section entirely, so I skipped the hardest part of the game and go to the ending part of World 5. So going into 5-6. This is a really hard level because we have these sumo bros kicking down their lightning. And this part right here, as you can see, that's so many things I need to dodge just in that one section alone. And then jump high enough to avoid that lightning. So the lightning, if you get hit by it, then you get electrocuted, which there's a whole animation for it. You lose your acorn, and then you lose all your speed if you get hit in midair. So it is a very punishing level if something were to go wrong in this level. So it's one of those like high risk, high reward things. All right, so I might have
500 raised.
Nice. Swinging chains work the same way as the swinging vines earlier in 5-1. Take a little bit slow right there. So I'm gonna go straight into the lava. Oh, hold up. Okay. Yeah, because you have to let go of your D-pad whenever you jump from these swinging chains. You do have to get a feel for it. And so I didn't really get very good boosts that time either, but I didn't die, so, which is the more important part, fortunately. And now we're going into the Iggy fight. So the way the Iggy fight works is he's going to hang on to the ceiling, and I need to get him down from the ceiling because I can't hit him while he's on the ceiling. All right. Just like that. So I canceled his fireballs by jumping into the fireballs. That also does work with Luigi, but you lose your power in the process, so which is why I play as Navi in this level. So I just count 4 pipe transitions, 4, and then hit him, just like that, and then repeat the process. Just like that. Alright, great. Alright, so now we're moving on to World 6, which, in my opinion, is the hardest world in the run. There are a ton of really difficult tricks and levels, and are all very punishing if something were to go wrong. So we'll see what happens. The first 2 levels are really easy, so you can go ahead and read any more donations or have any more announcements for the first 2 levels.
Yeah, indeed. As I said a moment ago, we have now reached $500 raised for Go Rescue. We are still pushing towards 700, of course, for that milestone to unlock our first bonus game. And we reached $500 thanks to $65 from Rashan Dragoness that says, "Yay, puppers." Yay, puppers, indeed. Thank you so much for that donation.
Uh-oh. Feel free to keep going. I have to mute myself.
Yeah, all right. Well, let us see. So, again, we did have a little schedule change. We're going to have Kirby Air Riders coming up next after this. And then if we can hit the $700 needed, we will see Super Mario World hitless. But we have more runs coming up later today as well. We're going to be finishing out the night with some Ghostland Yard and some Neva. Very exciting. It's a great schedule. And this is only day 1. So let's see how much we can raise for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center on day 1. There's your challenge, chat. Get your donations in. Actually, I have a thought. Since we are just on day 1, I would love for you to donate and tell me which run you are most excited for. Or maybe if there's one that you've seen already today that you absolutely loved, I'd love to hear about it in your donations.
Okay.
You can donate
Sorry about
small
that.
amounts, so get those in. No worries. Welcome back.
had a little bit of an interruption. But yeah. Okay. So going into Six Dash Tower. Six Dash Tower has something that I'm going to be doing that's a little bit unintentional. We call it the hidden block clip, where I'm going to try and precisely fly through some hidden blocks here if things go well here. Just like that. So that did not look like anything, but there were actually 2 hidden blocks there, and I flew through one of them in order to skip that part. Otherwise, what you're normally supposed to do is you're supposed to reveal those hidden blocks, and then those scrolls would break the middle part so we can go through it. So that trick that I just did saves a significant amount of time. Alright, so final Boom Boom fight here. Boom Boom is going to fly up in the air, but you can simply just fly up and hit him that way. Okay, very nice. Alright, so that level went really well. That is definitely the first difficult level to do in this world, in this very challenging world. There's a lot more of World 6 left to go. There are 2 towers, so I kind of like to split this world into like thirds. So that was the first third. And now going into 6-3. 6-4 is an auto scroller, so that's automatically slower. This is a vertical climbing level. I'm gonna do a precise fly followed by a ground pound just like that in order to get to the top. Alright, just like that. Alright, now the next level, 6-5, I'm going to get the secret exit, which will still take me to the tower. But the reason I'm getting the secret exit is because you might notice that the gimmick behind World 6 here is there are these red and blue switches, and there are different paths that you have to take depending on which switch is activated. And so by taking the secret exit here in this level, then I will create a path on that will get me to the red switch, and I want the red switch to be on, and that which will take me to the back entrance of World 6. And that's the end goal objective here. Is I want to get to the back entrance. So right now the red switch is still on, and the path will still turn on the leave the red switch still pressed down, and now we have a pretty tough level. Here we go. Okay, very nice. Okay, now it's not over yet because we got the Sumo Bro quick kill coming up here. This one is very precise. So let's see if we can get it. Got it. So as you see, you have just enough time to hit the Sumo Bro just as he's about to jump up to the top. And if he jumps up to the top, then you have to do a different strat in this fight. So this saves quite a bit of time if you can get it. Alright. A couple, aside from, a couple of distractions earlier on in World 6, this has been a relatively good world, so I'm really happy with that. Like I said, World 6 is my hardest world. I lose quite a good handful of runs in World 6 whenever I'm doing attempts. So overall, I'm mostly happy with how this went. Alright, so the back entrance of World 6 here, as you can see, is much shorter than if I were to do World 6, the front entrance normally. You have to do a lot more things if I were to go to the front entrance. And there's another route that leads to the front entrance, and you do the same amount of levels as how many levels I'm doing here, but the levels that you do in the other route are longer. So this route here is significantly faster through World 6. This fight's not very interesting, so if you have any more donations or announcements, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, I am actually curious what you think in terms of the hat options we have. Which one is your favorite? See if we can encourage some people to maybe donate for Runner's Choice, because we again have Cowboy Hat, Heart Springs, Onigiri, Ribbon, and Top Hat for Kirby Air Riders. Which of those sounds most appealing to you?
I've never personally played Kirby Air Riders, but the Onigiri does sound pretty appealing as somebody who really likes sushi.
I also think the Onigiri hat would be very cool to see, and it currently, if I'm reading this correctly, has no love yet. So if you'd like to make both the host and the runner happy, send in your donations, put it towards that Onigiri hat, and of course every donation is going to help us get closer to unlocking that bonus game of Super Mario World.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so now we're heading on to World 7, which is called Meringue Clouds. World 7 tends to be a make or break point. If I haven't, if I had a really good World 6, then I'm probably going to lose the run to World 7. I'm not going to spill why, but for now, just trust that I might lose the run here. Going into 7-1, we have a very tough level. So we have these frozen fuzzies as well as these ice bros. There's a really tough jump at the very end. That can be very punishing if I mess up that jump. We'll see how this goes. It is coming up right now. Got it. That did not look like anything, but you have a few frames to get a jump off of that part. Otherwise, you're probably gonna die. Because if you're too early or too late, then you're either gonna hit those fuzzies or the ice bro, and then you're not gonna make that jump. So very happy that that went really well. And now we can breathe a sigh of relief with the Subnatch 2. Subnatch 2 is a really straightforward level. I do this level as Nabbit. You can do this level as Luigi, and it's still really easy because you can fly over everything. But the reason I play as Nabbit is because I don't think I actually talked about this yet, but Nabbit has a faster flight animation than Luigi. So in levels where Luigi and Nabbit take the same amount of time, you want to play as Nabbit if you can execute the same way. Alright, so now coming up is Subnatch Tower. A bit of a tough level to do. Now, it is very crucial that I keep my acorn throughout Subnatch Tower. Otherwise I'm going to lose a lot of time on the boss fight here. So, we'll see how this goes here. So, go ahead and wall jump up. Okay, very nice. Still good. Still kept my acorn. Got this bit of an auto-scroller section. There's very few auto-scrollers in this game, as you can tell, especially in this run. You don't go through very many auto-scrollers. This is one of the few auto-scroller sections that you go through. Okay. Alright, so the boss of the tower is Kamek. Kamek is a great boss. He likes to spawn in random places. Oh, and because this is a marathon, I'm gonna lose the run to this fight. So, let's pray that I lose the run here. Oh, hold. Okay, never mind. Thank you very much, Kamek, for being very nice to me. Alright, great. So as you can tell right there, it's basically a guessing game. You pick a side, and then you hope that Kamek will spawn on the side that you're in, so that way you have the most amount of time to hit Kamek. Otherwise, if he spawns on the opposite side, then you might not have enough time to reach him and to get a hit off of him. And then the third hit is he will always spawn in the middle. So as long as you get the first two hits in, then you can just fly to the center and hit Kamek and then finish the fight that way. So that is definitely a make or break if in most attempts. Alright, so getting the secret exit here in 7 Ghosts, which will allow us to skip a lot of World 7. Skipping World 7 is great because there's an RNG section if I were to get the normal exit here in 7 Ghosts. And, you know, I already had really good RNG on Kamek. I don't need to add more RNG than I need to. So we're going straight to the castle. And the castle has 2 parts to it. The first part you can kind of take your time because you have to wait for the block to get past you. So, right over here. Gotta dodge these fire bars in the process, too. So I gotta wait for this block to pass me so I can get past it. Just like that. Now, the second part here, I'm gonna slow down. And that's so I can manipulate the fire bars at the very end in order to pull off this trick here. Good! If you mess that up, then you have a tendency to lose your acorn. And this is another one of those situations where you don't want to lose your acorn, otherwise you're going to lose a significant amount of time on the boss fight, which is going to be Ludwig von Koopa. Alright, so the way the Ludwig fight works is normally he will go and fly up to the air and clone himself. and then you have to figure out which one's the real Ludwig. But if you just fly up, then you skip the attack phase entirely. Alright, just like that. Okay, so World 7 not completed yet. We have one more level to do, believe it or not, and that is the airship. So we skipped an airship earlier in World 5, but now we have to do this airship. There's no way to skip this. And fortunately, this airship, still an auto-scroller, but you can skip it. There are, the first section, you're normally supposed to ride the cloud over to the next section while dodging a bunch of enemies as well as the giant fist that the airship sends out. But with precise flying, then I can skip all that entirely. If I fail this, then I am dead, so we'll see what happens. There it is. Okay, so now we've got to go ahead and this part right here is an auto-scroller that we can't skip, so we just kind of have to follow the screen. And then pretty soon we're about to approach the boss, which is Bowser Jr. And the Bowser Jr. boss fight is can be pretty precise. If you mess up this fight, then it can go really wrong. So we'll see what happens here. So normally you're supposed to wait for Bowser Jr. to punch his fist down, so that way you can get to him. But you can fly up to Bowser Jr. just like this. Just like that. Okay, so that did look really easy, but that is much harder than it looks. His hitbox is really small, directly in the center, and it's not very favorable. There are several clips of various New Super Luigi runners and New Super Mario Bros. U runners where it'll look like that they hit Bowser Jr., but you either get knocked out of hitting him, you go through him, you get hit and hit him at the same time. The fight can be a mess, and if you lose your acorn for whatever reason in this fight, then you gotta deal with more randomness than the Kamek fight. So it is pretty rough if something were to go wrong. But fortunately, that didn't happen. Alrighty, so moving on to the final world. We are almost done here. And going into World 8, it's going to be a pretty short world. So the first level, going into 8-1, we are going to get the secret exit. And which will take us to 8-4 and go straight to the castle. Now, in New Super Mario Bros. U, you actually do the normal exit of 8-1 and do the normal route, which is 8-2 and 8-3, which you might think that might not make any sense. But there are skips in those games for those two levels that save more time to do in 8-4. That is not the case here in New Super Luigi U. So we made it back to Peach's Castle. You probably, if you paid attention to the intro, the story of this game is we got thrown out of the castle and we had to make our way back to the castle. And while we were making our way back to the castle, Bowser and his minions made the castle evil looking, so we had to get rid of them. So this level here has random fireballs, which normally isn't a big deal as an abbot, but there's this section right here where I gained a second. Let's go! So there's another RNG pattern where you lose a second instead, because a fireball will take 1 second longer to hit the block that you need in order to get to the top section. But I got good RNG there, so that's great. And so that's the secret exit. And now we're going to 8-4. Fortunately, the fireballs in this level are not random. Instead, they move in a cycle. And this can also be a pretty fun level. Also very specific to do. You cannot be too early or too late on different cycles of this level. Just like that. Alright, so going into 8-Castle, there are elevators that you ride, but we can actually skip them. We call this elevator skip. It is a very notorious trick in New Super Mario Bros. U, but elevator skip is significantly easier in New Super Luigi U because the elevator moves horizontally in this game instead of vertically. And so you do, in New Super Mario Bros. You do a lot of precise movement in order to climb up as high as you can while skipping the elevator ride. And it's a very ridiculous trick in that game. But fortunately, you don't have to deal with that in this game. And when I'm moving these, I'm moving these elevators, I am actually tilting my gamepad. It is the only instance where. Okay, nice. It is the only instances where motion controls are required in this game. I can also shake the gamepad in order to do spin jumps, but I prefer using the buttons for the spin jumps. But aside from that, that is the only required motion control part. So the reason I said like nice earlier is because that jump is very specific. You need to jump low enough so you're not hitting the bomb, but also high enough so that you're not hitting the spark. So it can be pretty punishing if that jump doesn't go well. And now we're moving on to the very last level. So we are almost done here. The final battle. So this first room here, Bowser Jr. is going to try and get in our way. And if you do the same actions in this room every single time, then Bowser Jr. will always do the same things every single time. Nice. So what I did there was I hung on to Bowser Jr. and on the right, and while I am hanging on to him on the right, he is trying to catch up to me. So he's constantly moving really quickly to keep catching on to me. And I take advantage of that speed in order to go through that room quicker, and that saves 2 seconds. The fireballs here in this corridor room are always the same, so I avoid the fireballs the same way every single time, and now we got the Bowser fight. Hard fight. I win. Alright, and with that should be it, right? Let's go save the princess. Oh, looks like Bowser Jr. and Kamek are plotting something. What could they be doing? Well, that seemed a little scary. Let's go ahead and save the princess before something drastic happens. So there's Peach. Oh! Oh! What happened? Oh no. Okay. Bowser's back. Oh my gosh. Alright, so the first thing right off the bat in this fight is fireball skip. So if I fly up as soon as he shoots his first fireball, then it skips a second fireball, saving 2 seconds. Next up, I'm going to take Bowser's clown car, and I'm going to hit Bowser, and I'm going to try and get the clown car back from Bowser before Bowser gets it, and I'm going to keep it into this next phase, and that skips Bowser's attack phase entirely, which saves a lot of time. And I'm going to repeat the process. Now time is coming up as soon as I hit Bowser the third time. This fight goes so fast that I don't have time to explain the whole fight. Time. 101.35. All right. Despite the really silly mistakes and the me getting distracted by my interruption earlier, that is a really good run. I'm happy with that.
That was very fun to watch. Are there any shoutouts you'd like to give?
Yeah, shoutouts to the No Glitches Allowed community for always putting these events together every single year. I've been a part of these events since 2019, been running in every event since 2019. It's always a pleasure to be a part of this, to be a part of these events. So thank you everybody for putting this together. Thank you everybody for watching, and all the runners who have been doing a great job, doing these runs. It's always been fun watching these runs too. Everybody on the No Glitches Allowed schedule are all very talented runners, so be sure to check out everybody. If you enjoyed me as a runner and enjoyed this run, I speedrun this game as well as other new Super Mario Bros. Games as well. I am also a Zelda speedrunner, so if you like Mario and Zelda, then feel free to give me a follow on my Twitch channel. Outside of speedrunning, I do Let's Plays of a variety of different games on my YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like, for some variety content. And shout outs to Cell being on the host. I know I did a lot of talking, but you did really good.
No, thank you.
With that, that is all there is for me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next run coming up.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you so much for that run, mchan. Everyone, stick around. We will be back in just a moment with more No Glitches Allowed, but in the meantime, get your donations in. What a fantastic run that was. So much fun. And, I want more Mario here at No Glitches Allowed 2026. And in case you are just tuning in and you're unsure what this event is, this is No Glitches Allowed, or NOGA. And it's an annual charity event featuring speedruns that rely more on execution of intended mechanics than game-breaking glitches. NOGA will be live from Wednesday, May 27th through Sunday, May 31st, raising money for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. To see the full schedule, just type !schedule in chat. And we are currently working towards raising $700 total for Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center so that we can unlock the first bonus game of the event. That's right. We have that milestone open to unlock Super Mario World any percent but done hitless. I want to see this. I know you all want to see this. The runner is super excited. Troy is super excited to be here. Very, very hyped. And you're going to want to see their energy. I know I want to see it. I know all of you do. So !donate, get your donations in. Every donation goes towards that. And now if you also want to, make double use of your donation, we also have a hat bid war for Kirby Air Riders, which is coming up right in just a moment. You can decide which hat we're going to wear, because what's a speed run without a fashionable hat? Our options are cowboy hat, Heart Springs, Onigiri, Ribbon, and Top Hat. And I will give you a quick little update on where we're at for those. Um, right now, Top Hat is in the lead at $75 with Cowboy Hat at 40. The rest have no donations toward them so far, but get your donations in if you want to see any of the others, because we do not have a whole lot of time to get those hat choices in. And in fact, that information is now outdated. We have $10 now going towards Onigiri, thanks to this donation from Chester Hoover, who says, "Shout out my goat, Big Woog Master." Thank you for that donation, and for giving some love to Onigiri, my personal favorite choice. So, chat, if you want to make me happy, if you want to make our last runner happy, you want to help snipe Onigiri for the win, you have just a few minutes to get those donations in as we get ready for Kirby Air Riders. All right, everyone, welcome back to No Glitches Allowed 2026. And while we were getting set up for Kirby Air Riders, we had a donation come in $67 from Sporadic Erratic, who says, Simple nerd, I want to see a rice ball on a pink puff's noggin. And with that, Onigiri Hat is now in the lead.